If you love the Pottery Barn look, but not necessarily the price tag, this video is just for you. In this video, we're gonna go to Pottery Barn as well as look on their website, get loads of inspiration, and then we're gonna head off to the thrift store and see what we can come up with for a whole lot less. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Pottery Barn is really known for having those classic timeless pieces that can grow with you year after year, season after season. Now let's talk about furniture, the most expensive area, especially when we're talking about Pottery Barn. Now we're talking thousands of dollars. And every now and then you can get really lucky at the thrift store and find pieces that barely need anything but a good clean. But more often than not, you'll find pieces that you can either repurpose or refinish altogether. One of the most common items I find at the thrift store are laundry carts that look just like this. And you guys have seen me actually do several transformations to laundry carts. Most recently, headed off to the hardware store and grabbed a wood slab. I had trim pieces left over, made these custom trays so they could fit on the top and the bottom, and then just decided to wrap this seagrass material that I ordered from Amazon. It was definitely a time-consuming project, but a really affordable one as well. And I know not everybody has a ton of time to work on these projects. So I was trying to think of a way that we can refinish these in a more time-sensitive way. So of course, found one of these. This one was just $6. The bones of it were actually really good, but the liner was tearing and had stains. So I just decided to remove that part altogether and let's turn it into something else. Now, of course, if the liner is good, you could just simply use it as that. This one was threaded through it. So I did have to unscrew it just for a second so I could remove that liner, and then I just put it back together. So I really thought I had struck gold with these baskets here. I was gonna paint them and they were gonna fit perfectly, but sadly they did not. So I had to come up with another solution. So while I was looking all around my house, I came across this here. It's like a metal mesh roll that felt pretty heavy duty. So I decided to lay it out. And what if instead of making a wood basket, something that would be a whole lot faster is just to make a metal basket instead. So in order to do that, grabbed some utility gloves as well as my shears, and I just removed 3 of the squares from each corner after taking some measurements of how much of this material I would need for the top. In order to connect those pieces now, I just grabbed a book and I'm just going to fold it now up towards the book so I can get a nice clean corner on each side. With everything folded up, now I just needed to connect the corners together. So I did leave some excess in those areas so that way I would be able to take my needle nose pliers and twist them into place. Taking a closer look at these baskets from Pottery Barn, I'm assuming they're meant to feel antique and weathered because there's almost a champagne bronze look to them. From a distance, they do look like they're black, but they're actually not. So in order to get a similar look, I did paint the entire thing black and then a dusting of some champagne bronze paint. In order to keep this being pretty quick and time sensitive, I wanted whatever we put on the bottom to just kind of be ready to go. So I remembered I went to the antique mall weeks ago and found these really cool crates that had almost like a primitive look to them. And I hadn't done anything with them yet. So when I tried to put these on the bottom of the laundry cart, it was like it was made for it. Now, if you don't have crates that look like this, I know Michael's sells those crates and they're almost always on sale. So I would recommend going that route. So by taking a $6 laundry cart from the thrift store and combining it with the most random pieces in my house, I was able to create something that I feel is really beautiful. Moving along now to decorative trays, Pottery Barn has so many beautiful options to choose from, but they are quite expensive. Because I often use trays in so many areas of my decorating, it would add up very quickly. So what I personally like to do is take that inspiration, go to the thrift store, find a tray. This one was just $1.25. Loved the shape of this tray, but it's made of melamine, and I would at least prefer it to look like it's made of metal. So to achieve that look, I have a lot of aged brass in my space. So I take a combination of 3 different spray paints. The first one is a metallic brass spray paint. Then I will go in with a matte black spray paint over top of it. And then to finish it off, I will go over that with a champagne bronze. This is a really forgiving combination as well, because if you do get too much, let's say black in one area, you can soften it by adding more brass or adding more champagne bronze to get a really weathered and aged brass look. Because I had all of the spray paints already on hand, this tray only cost $1.25, and I think it complements my open shelving so beautifully. If you're somebody that does host often, getting yourself a little collection of platters, trays, cloches for when you are hosting is a really great idea. But instead of going to Pottery Barn, my recommendation is to check what your thrift stores have, because oftentimes people use cake stands, platters, cloches, just for a season or just for a specific holiday, and then they don't want to store it anymore, so they donate it. So now let's really talk about storage. So for pieces like this that are not my everyday items, I like to use the cabinet above the fridge for this because it is up, it's out of the way. I never really have to access that cabinet unless I'm hosting. And furthermore, if you have a cake stand that has a cloche that goes with it, just flip the cake stand upside down, place the cloche on top, and that will also give you a little bit more space. Which of course now brings us to storage, and specifically decorative storage. So the storage that's pretty enough to be able to sit out. But usually you have to buy multiples of the same type of storage, and that can get really expensive. The benefit of buying everything from the same store is that everything is made of the same material. But I think a good rule of thumb, if you're using a similar material throughout your space, that you will still get a really cohesive look. So when I find storage baskets that are this linen material, as well as baskets like these that are nice and big and in that darker brown tone that we're seeing so much of. I found this basket for just about $6 at the Goodwill in Cleveland. It was brand new with tags, originally from Target. I personally just like to remove the liner. I think it looks a little bit cleaner, but you could of course just choose to wash and then use it. So for all 3 of these storage baskets, total I spent just under $10. If I were to go to Pottery Barn, it would be so much more expensive. And to be honest, you can really have a near identical look. So we've talked about these books in the past, these linen wrapped books. You don't get to even choose the books. You don't know what the books are. You just choose the fabric, and it is over $350. So the next project is a little out there, but just let's go with it. So one thing you can always find at the thrift store are VHS boxes. Sometimes they have the VHS in them, sometimes they do not. So I just grabbed 4 of these boxes. What's nice is they're all kind of uniform in size. So what if instead, I've been collecting specifically Christmas related ones because I have a Christmas DIY in mind. I'm just gonna remove those, set those off to the side. Once everything was disinfected, cleaned, and dried, it's then just time to add our linen fabric on. Taking my Gorilla Glue spray adhesive, I'm just going to spray all along the outside of this VHS box. Grab my scrap linen fabric that I have left over from other projects, and we are just going to press this on this box here. I really love this adhesive because it's not as messy as Mod Podge, and it really is so forgiving. If you mess up or if there's a wrinkle, you can just simply pull it back and then reapply. The part that requires the most focus is to now get so close to that VHS box that it's basically now just flush against the edges. To finish it off, I will use Mod Podge here, just taking a small brush or my finger and just attaching all along the edges so everything is nicely sealed, and it just gives an overall more finished look. Another nice thing is that they do provide a little bit of storage. I mean, it's not gonna be a ton, but you can put rubber bands in here, zip ties, paper clips, just maybe make a marking at the bottom of what is actually in there. But it gives you a little bit of storage. I think you get an overall similar look and for a much more affordable price point. A couple materials I want to point out. Of course, woven planters is very popular at Pottery Barn, but you can also find those same things at the thrift store. For example, this planter basket was really large in scale and only $5. You could use this, of course, for a plant, for logs, indoors or outdoors, and I think it would add a lot of texture to any space. Now, you guys know how much I love the thrift store, but nothing is better than a free find. So I found this tall woven planter that was brand new with with tags. I have no idea why someone would just throw this away when you could at least donate it. However, I'm very happy that they did, because then I was able to get my hands on it. So this was originally from Marshall's. They were charging $39.99 for it. Pieces like these can be incredibly versatile, so let's talk about a few ways that you can use this. Of course, the most obvious being a planter. In order to promote better drainage though, I did decide to add 4 small pilot holes at the bottom, so then that way when I'm watering my plants, I'm able to have that drainage not just sit at the bottom of this pot here. You could also instead use it as a storage side table. So in order to do that, you just need to find a round that appropriately fits inside of that slot there. This one came from the Goodwill bins. It's originally from Target, but strangely enough, it really was just the perfect fit. I just had to do a few things. The first thing I needed to do was just fill any of the holes, because I believe this is meant to be hung up on the wall, which we will not be doing. So just filled in all of the holes because I wanted this section to be the top and the beveled edge to sit inside of the planter. With that then being dry, I just needed to sand off any of the excess so it would be nice and flush and ready for stain. Generally speaking, I like to start out with something that's a little bit more abrasive, so 60, 80, 120, and then finish it off with 220 just so it is nice and smooth. Because I refinished my outdoor dining set using this really beautiful paint stain mix, we're just going to use a little bit of that left over, and of course do the front and the back. To apply the stain, generally I like to use stain specific brushes like this one here, just going in the direction of the wood grain and then wiping it off with a lint-free rag. I ended up doing 2 coats of this Cabot stain here. It was still just pulling a little bit too grayish brown, and this planter was just definitely a lot darker. So I just decided to finish it off with a gel stain by Minwax in the color black. So now let's test out some of these ideas in my back patio. So the first we already mentioned is a planter, kind of a no-brainer. You can also then, like I mentioned, add some sort of a lid to contain whatever's inside in a really beautiful way, and then you can stick a plant or something else on top of it. But we have 4th of July at our house every year, and I thought in addition to the cooler, it would be nice to have an area to display some celebratory champagne or water bottles. But once the party is over, I can still use this table in so many different capacities. If you really love Pottery Barn, kind of a general rule I would say, when you're at the thrift store, you'll find planters that are very similar in shape to the things you'll find at Pottery Barn. But the major difference is they don't have a ton of planters. There's probably a few exceptions here, but they don't have a ton of planters that have this really high shine, high gloss glaze to them. They're usually a bit more mattified. But what a simple change to make. So this planter in terms of silhouette is almost identical to the one from Pottery Barn. Originally, they were selling this at the Goodwill retail side for $5. Nobody bought it, so it ends up in the bins. There are so many different ways to achieve that textured ceramic-like look that you'll see often at Pottery Barns. The easiest, most inexpensive way is just, of course, to take any white acrylic paint that you have, mix that up with a little bit of baking soda, apply it with any brush that you have. A foam brush or a brush like this works fine, but always applying it basically in the same direction. While I could have left it, and I know the difference is so subtle, if you want your space to really reflect a timeless Pottery Barn style, doing this quick and easy hack will get you a lot closer. If you really love Pottery Barn, the easiest way to get that look is by just using a ton of candles, both tapered, flameless. Any candles you can get your hands on is gonna give you a more Pottery Barn inspired look. And this is something I come across so often, especially at the Goodwill bins. So for example, I found this candle holder here. It said celebrate on it. If you guys know my style, that's just really not for me. So I just decided to sand the whole thing down, give it a more rustic look. And I'm trying to think of something that I can add those metal pieces on, because I love that feature from the Pottery Barn one. So if you guys have any ideas, leave me a comment down below. But this piece was maybe $1 or $2, and I think you get an overall similar feel. And I know that is absolutely ridiculous to even be thinking about Halloween right now, but if you are someone who likes to plan your decor ahead of time, my recommendation is to pick it up when you see it, because you don't know when you're gonna see it again. And also, it is just nice if you plan on DIYing things that the DIYs are already done and all you have to do is take it out of your fall boxes and they're ready to be displayed. So nothing wrong with this blue, but again, it just doesn't really go with my space. So I decided to remove that green velvet ribbon, as well as any tape residue that might be left over. Mercury candles are a really popular thing on Pottery Barn's website. In order to get a look that's kind of similar to that, I like to start out with a matte black spray paint and make sure you turn everything over, you're getting all of the angles, and then you are also sealing it with just a matte clear sealer. Now we move on to the acrylic paints. So I like this combination of brown, black, and champagne bronze, as well as a wet paper towel for application. And you're just going to dab all of those three colors until you get the look you're really trying to achieve. So again, I have a lot of that aged brass in my space. And of course, I'm not gonna put this candle out right now, but when fall does roll around, all I have to do again is pull it out of the box and it's ready to go. And that about wraps it up for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments which project or hack or find was your favorite this week, and I will see you back here next Sunday. Bye for now.